Today you'll learn the real reason bullies gossip about you and how to get them to stop. There are different ways that bullies use gossip to bully other people at work. Here's one of them.
I think there's something you should know. Today when I was at lunch, your name came up, and people are saying that you...
All right, take out your danger phrase and power phrase list, and at the top of the danger phrase side, write the phrase, "There's something you should know." That's not just a danger phrase, meaning that as a savvy communicator, especially for one of my students, you know that you should pause before you say that if you ever are about to say that and not say that. But it's also what we would call an alert phrase. So on your danger phrase list, write the word alert next to that phrase, because what that should do is when you hear somebody say, "I think there's something you should know," that should alert you there's trouble a brewing. And it should alert you that you should be aware that person does not have your best interests at heart. They're most likely about to say something to you that's going to hurt you, and they're aware of that and they want to say it anyway. Basically, this alert phrase is alerting you to that troublemaker who is trying to make trouble for you, giving you some information that you should not be privy to because it was not meant for your ears or it would have been told to you to begin with. So what's a good response to things like that? Since they're so concerned with what you do know, I recommend using a "I don't know, but I do know" phrase. Using phrases like "I don't know, but I do know," it helps structure your responses so that they have more of an impact and they're easier to flow out, even if they are impromptu. For example, "Trixie, I don't know why Mary would have said that about me, but I do know that she didn't want me to hear it or she would have said it to me. I don't know what you wanted to get out of this conversation, but I do know that I'm ending it." All right? Do you understand? What are some outrageous stories that you have with gossip at work and how you dealt with it, maybe effectively or ineffectively? I would like to know that. And if you do have a question on any of this, jot them down in the comments below. If you would like an answer to your question, make sure to subscribe to this channel and that's how you'll get it. That said, adding to that strategy of letting somebody know, "I don't know this, but I do know that," I recommend, because we are striving to be mindful communicators, you can be mindful and powerful at the same time, remember. There is nothing that I have to say that I can't say in a loving, mindful way. So let's say that I wanted to tell somebody, "Hey, utshe your outh may because I don't like ossip gay." I can tell you something such as, "I'm not really sure what type of mental lapse you've had, but I do know that it was most likely a mistake. So what do you say we put a period here and forget that this ever happened?" And while you do that, while you tell somebody, in essence, "I don't know what your problem is, but I do know that it's probably a simple lapse in judgment because you're better than this normally." Remember that people tend to live up to our expectations. Instead of just combating lovelessness with more lovelessness, tell people that you expect more from them. Tell people in a gentle way, "I don't know what brought this on, but I do know that this really isn't you. So what do you say we forget this conversation, put a period, and move along?" Does that sound good? I know you make mistakes and I make mistakes, and that's what we are here for, to help lift one another up, not tear one another down or try to lift myself up at the expense of someone else. As long as I'm consistently communicating messages like that, it's easy to tell people things like, "Hey, I don't know what is going on with you, but maybe you'd like to tell me what's going on with you instead of telling me what's going on with somebody else, because that's not like you." It's so much easier when you are holding people to higher standards. If we are around people, really, who do not hold us to high standards, if we are around people who kind of like it when we engage in shady behavior, chances are we will engage in shady behavior more than we would if we were with people who held us to a higher standard. So let's be that person that holds other people to higher standards. In return, they will do that to us, and it causes a chain reaction where all of us lift one another up. Just one second, before we move along, it dawned on me as I was watching this video that not everybody has a copy of the rules. And if you're missing the rules, you are missing out, because if you just follow that, this will not happen to begin with. It prevents 99% of these kind of problems in the workplace and at home. So go ahead and click on that and download your free copy. But I wanted to add something to that. In terms of body language, as you tell people, if you touch them on the top of their hand as you say it. Now, I don't want to hear about people telling me, "You can't touch people at work anymore. I'd be fired." No, you wouldn't. Yes, you can. You can still touch people, by the way, on the hand, the shoulder, the back of the arm, the elbow. But regardless of the legal areas where we can still touch people, you can still touch people unless you are some type of groper, unless you are somebody who's a total lech. You can still touch people. And especially when you're delivering a message to them where you're telling them, "It's okay. I know there's something wrong and you can trust me." Remember, the tap and tilt, to tap someone on the top of the hand or the back of the arm or the shoulder and tilt your head to the side as you say something such as, "So what's going on?" That body language, tilting your head to the side, remember, that's just like what dogs do. When dogs, who are some of the most tactical and clear and best and most intuitive communicators on the planet, if they want to send us a message saying, "Don't fear me, I'm passive," they tilt their heads to the side. If they want to send a message that says, "I'm about to eat you if you take one more step," that's when they tilt their heads forward. So if we want to show somebody, don't be afraid, you can let down your guard. Tilting our heads to the side sends that message. And if we touch them gently on the top of the hand or on the shoulder, making that connection, you do not know when the last time was that somebody was physically touched by someone else, that somebody reached out to them in a physical, literal sense to say, "I'm here, just so you know, you seem like you might be a little out of touch. Let me try to ground you with my touch and my words." You will not believe the impact that will have on people. When you start to see it, if you have not been tactically doing that with people, once you start doing it, you will never stop because you will see the power that it has. And if you're getting written up for it, if you're getting fired for it, it's because you're not following these guidelines and you're probably touching people in places other than the top of the hand or the shoulder or the back of the arm or the elbow. To talk more about these types of things, by the way, if you wanted to join us in our monthly meetups, we have monthly meetups the first Wednesday of every month. And that's just for members of this channel, which is different from Remember subscribers. So there are two buttons below. There's a subscribe and a join. If you hit the join button, then you can join us during our live meetup sessions, and we'll discuss more things like this and more strategies that you can use to not just combat negativity, but identify the real source, because I want to talk about that. The real source of these gossips and this negativity, if this is more than just a one-time occurrence for you, I suspect that if this is a pattern in your life, you're looking at it with a skewed lens. And we're going to be talking about that in a moment. But before we talk about that, let's talk about, for those of us who are dealing with other people gossiping about other people with us. So let's say that, for example, a gossip says to you,
You do know why they get all the good assignments, don't you?
Number one, give them a bottom line statement. We have to draw a line in the sand. We have to make ourselves clear. Remember that people treat us and talk to us and communicate with us the way we train them to treat us and talk to us and communicate with us. That's the bottom line. If people try to gossip with you once, that's about them. If people gossip with you 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, that is not about them. That is about you. Because what gets rewarded gets repeated. And we have to recognize that people would not keep doing this if we did not keep giving them the rewards they were looking for. You know what's not a reward? A bottom line statement. A bottom line statement is when you tell somebody, "Oh, I don't allow that." Just like, in case you have forgotten what the rules of engagement are with me, one of them is, I don't allow that type of communication. The way I would say it to a gossip would be to say something such as, Charlie, I'm sure it's not intentional, but I'm uncomfortable with this type of conversation. Or, wait a minute, Charlie, I'm sure that you aren't aware of what you're doing, but it's making me really uncomfortable talking about people like this. I want to let you know, I'm uncomfortable with that. That makes me uncomfortable. Don't say things such as, I'm not comfortable with that. Remember, don't tell people what you're not. Tell people what you are. And if you are not comfortable, that means you are uncomfortable. So tell people, I'm uncomfortable with that type of conversation. This talk is making me uncomfortable. I'm sure you didn't mean to do it. I'm sure that you just slipped ahead, a momentary lapse of judgment, but I'm uncomfortable with it, all right? Then, this is the key now, and you can use these in so many different circumstances. I'm going to give you a boundary statement. And a boundary statement is when I tell you, I do want to blankety blank, but not blankety blank. For example, I do want to talk about work, just not my coworkers, unless it's positive. And I think you're normally like that too. This is the first time I've heard you talk about our coworkers like this. So I'm assuming that something's up. What's going on with you? What's wrong? And again, I might give you that tap on the top of the hand, tap on the shoulder. If you do that, if you tell somebody, you got to udshay your mouth, May. If you need to tell somebody that, when you tell people that and you touch them at the same time, you're taking the sting away from it. You're taking the harshness away from your message. So if I were to tell you, hey, I do want to talk about work, just not our coworkers, unless it's positive, but I think you're normally that way too. So what gives? What's going on with you today? You can tell me. And I give you a little tap, tap, tap on the top of the hand. It makes all the difference in the world. So let me know what you think so far in the comments, and let me know what type of things are you dealing with when it comes to gossip and backstabbing. What are some of the outrageous things that people have either said about you or to you? Now, when people say to you, as they will, things like, I'm sorry, I should stop. You're right. I'm sorry. Be gentle with them. Be compassionate and caring. Don't be judgmental or anything like that, because we all make these mistakes. And that's all it is. If they frequently make them, it's because they are used to an environment that is not just permissive, but probably encourages gossip and backstabbing and negativity. If you decide you don't do that anymore, watch how you can change the entire environment where you work. Just you, just deciding to do that. Because that brings me back to what the real reason is why so many of us are dealing with this all the time. Most people, when I ask them to tell me about the negativity or gossip or backstabbing that they deal with at work, they tell me about how they feel bad. Maybe they're depressed. Maybe they have started to hate their job. Maybe they're looking for a new job. But their feelings, their emotions, what's going on in their life, they attribute as an effect of these gossips at work. And as long as they see it that way, we can't make any progress. We can't make real changes in our life if we're not seeing the laws of the universe clearly as they are and as they apply to us to begin with, right? I mean, we can't change things if we're not seeing them clearly for what they are to begin with. Wouldn't you agree with that? So if we're seeing, for example, gossips and backstabbers and negaholics and narcissists and gaslighters at work as the cause of our suffering or our problems, and we think, well, it's because of that lovelessness, I'm at the effect of that. If that's the way you see it, then you might as well just hang it up because there's nothing you can do about it if you're at the effect. However, when people realize, wait a minute, I'm not at the effect of anybody. That's the key to recognize I'm the cause here. I'm the cause here. I'm the cause. I'm the cause of everything here. Not those bitches at work. It's an impossibility that they could be a cause and that you are at their effect. I mean, think about that. Maybe the reason that those people, those things exist is because that's an effect of you not yet stating clearly what the rules are. Stating clearly what you will and will not accept. Because you, I will tell you, are not at the effect of those office bitches. You are the cause. They are the effect. So if you want them to go away, that is up to you. And you'll notice when you realize, oh my gosh, I've been doing that this whole time. I've been bringing them in. I've been making them visible in my life. It's not that we have to battle them. They will just naturally fall away and you'll stop dealing with them. There are people at your organization who don't deal with it, who aren't aware of the gossip or the negativity. There are. You could be one of them. As soon as you, first of all, start seeing things correctly, start seeing cause and effect, start recognizing, I just have to tell people what I accept and don't accept. You have to have your phrases ready. You have to have your mindset ready. You have to have your tactics ready, and you will be all set. And gossip and backstabbing and negativity, it will always exist in the universe, but you will not be at its effect. You are the cause. So to learn more about how to rid your life of gossip and negativity and backstabbers, make sure to click this link below because I put a holiday special link at the end of this video so that you can go to Dan O'Connor Training and join one of our online courses or our Inner Circle group for half off during this holiday special. And once you have done that and subscribed to this channel or become a member, check out this next video. I think you're really going to like it.